Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in to yet another episode of the Creatives Podcast, connecting fashion and film. Unfortunately, today I'm not joined by my wonderful co-host Tevin Brown, so you just had to deal with me and my friends that I have here. But thank you again for tuning in. We have some special guests today, representing Monumental Costume House and Alessi Hartigan. Today we have the amazing DANI PAYNE and SHAYNE Hartigan. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know, Alessi Hartigan is the industry leader in background casting. They have set the industry standard for how background talent are treated in the industry. And that has been going on since 2016, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, technically we've been in New Mexico since 2016, but the company itself has actually been around in its first iteration with Sandy since '98.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you got some history.
Been around for a minute.
That's fantastic. Okay, so first of all, for those who may not know, give us a little bit more details on kind of the creation of Alessi Hartigan and how it got to this point today.
Oh my! We're gonna need hours, hours and hours. So, long story short, I was working in Hawaii 10 years ago. I was there on a TV show called Hawaii Five-0. I was their extras casting assistant at the time, and Sandy had come to Hawaii to do King Kong Skull Island, and at the time she just needed an assistant, so I kind of hopped ship from 5-0 to Kong, and was working as their PA for a minute, and then there was kind of a series of strange events, and Sandy ended up having to go back to mainland US, and I was left on the island to kind of oversee the film. And at the time, everything was already done. Like, you know, we were coming on, stand-ins booked, photo doubles booked. It was relatively all set up. And then they ended up having to move, due to some schedule shifts, all of the big background work from overseas, so Australia, Vietnam, Thailand, to Hawaii.
Oh man.
And I was the only one left on the island on the extras casting department, and I remember they called me to set, and they were like, hey, so we're gonna need to do almost 2,000 extras, 1970s, we're gonna double Vietnam, we're gonna double Washington DC, we're gonna double India, we're gonna double China in the next 3 weeks. Can you pull it off?
And
I went, holy shit. Okay. So I remember I was frankly calling Sandy. She called me back. She was like, I don't know what to do. I'll find you an assistant, but if you can run it, like, you're there, just figure it out. And so I dove in feet first on Kong Skull Island as my first big feature, and we got through that show. And Sandy called me that January, and she was like, hey, you saved my ass and you pulled it off. Do you want to keep working with me? And at the time I was like, yeah, of course.
Obviously.
You know, I mean, Sandy's done almost all the Pirates of the Caribbean films and Austin Powers, and I was like, fuck yes.
Yeah. How could you not, right?
Yeah, I'm on my way.
Yes.
Where are we going? And it was funny, so I was doing some small shows for her from Hawaii in LA, and then we got a phone call to come out to New Mexico to do Horse Soldiers for Jerry Bruckheimer. And it's funny because, you know, we kind of got our name in the state by doing the shows that nobody else could do. So the phone call we got from Jerry Bruckheimer's team was, can you come to New Mexico and find us 10,000 Afghans who can speak Farsi and ride horseback and fire a weapon at the same time? And it's funny because Sandy,
just that little task.
Sandy was like, oh yeah, of course we'll do it. And she calls me and she's like, hey, so you're getting on a plane tonight for New Mexico? And I was like, what? And I was like,
what's that?
This is gonna sound so ridiculous. I was on vacation in Maui, laying next to a pool. I had just gotten there. Like, we'd booked a 1 week vacation, my partner and I at the time, and only been there for 12 hours. And she calls, she goes, okay, I'm gonna need you on a plane tonight. And I was like, what? I just paid a lot of money for this vacation.
It's Hawaii too.
Yeah, and I was like, what? And she's like, yep, on a plane tonight. So I kid you not, I packed everything up, went back to Oahu, because I was living on Oahu at the time. So I went back to Oahu, got my stuff, got on a plane that night, landed in New Mexico the next day. And technically I haven't left since. I made New Mexico my home right after that movie. And with the help of the film office at the time, we set up a brick and mortar out here, really working on, at the time what they called it, bringing Hollywood to New Mexico and establishing those industry standards. You know, when we got out here, it was actually like really mortifying to go out on set and see hundreds of extras in the dead of winter just standing out in the desert.
Yeah.
No heaters, no care, no seats, no tents, while the crew was sitting in a lunchbox that was heated, eating their food, you know, and there really wasn't, there was just this blatant disregard for extras out here. You know, it was really just terrible, for lack of a better way of putting it.
Yeah.
So the film office worked really closely with us to build what we then called an industry standard for background out here. And it is a standard that we all follow to this day. It was in the production guides for a long time. When shows would come in, they'd be given our background standards, like, hey, this is how background need to be treated when they're in New Mexico.
That's huge.
And you know, the biggest thing with that is that we work to get the base wages up. You know, there's a big thing where a lot of people come to New Mexico and still think that extras can be abused, and still think that they can come in here and pay less than minimum wage or take advantage of background performers. And so that was the biggest thing that we did, was that we fought hard for years to get that rate up to the point where we wanted to match Los Angeles. You know, we want people to be able to have a living wage and do what they loved.
Right.
And I would say that we were successful with that, especially over COVID, getting that rate way up. I mean, we're up $50 to $60 from when we first came out here.
Really?
We've almost fully doubled the wages from the time we got out here. And so that's a standard that we like to stick to. I mean, it's just basic respect. And human rights, and you know, everybody wants to come and be treated like a human.
Yeah.
So that's what we fought really hard for, and that's what our company stands for out here. And that's kind of the long and short of Alicia Hartigan and how we got here and what we're doing here in New Mexico. You know, we've since grown to, I mean, we operate in 20 different states and in London now. But that all came from New Mexico and what we were able to do here.
Which is an absolutely monumental task, and I can imagine it's taken a lot of blood, sweat, tears.
It's an understatement, yeah.
Over other things, yeah. Understatement of the century. Yeah,
lots of tears.
absolutely. Yep, and a lot of support, because you are a casting director with LSE as well.
Correct. Yeah.
How did you get involved?
So I actually started. So I moved here from Denver. This was in. We actually moved here separately, like 4 months apart. Yeah. In 2016. I was an actor in Denver, and this is the time when, you know, self-tapes were accepted but not preferred.
Right. So
I did during busy season, like 3 round trips from Denver to Albuquerque and back for auditions. So I made over 100 trips in 18 months. And then decided that I was positively exhausted. So moved down here, what was acting and auditioning, still doing that. But then I was working in principal casting. But principal casting is a little more inconsistent. Background casting, you know, we were able to work nationwide and do all that stuff. So then during COVID, Shane and I met on set doing something, and I told him, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. He's like, well, you've been a principal casting director, you know what you're doing. So he brought me on to start assisting, and then it was pretty quick that I was just running my own shows.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, hell yeah.
It worked out.
You saw the talent, you saw an asset when you needed one. That's perfect. It worked out for everybody.
It worked out, yeah.
Very much so. Wow. So, obviously, in order for something like this to not only be like, you know, to be set ablaze like this, but to also experience like so much success, you know, you need to have a lot of heart for it. And so I'm curious, what like fuels that fire for you, you know, to just keep going, to push through all the abundance of tears in the inception and everything else?
Honestly, for me, I was an actor first and foremost. I grew up in a film industry family, so I was really lucky to have a lot of opportunities. And the biggest thing for me is I was an actor as a kid, and watching my dad and mom go into these big shows and having the ability to see the other side and see that like I was given a lot of opportunities that not a lot of people get. And there was kind of this like door to the industry where it was very hard to get into, and people really couldn't figure out what to do, and everybody kind of safeguarded all these little secrets. And I felt Like I had interned in a casting office to get a recommendation for college because I was going to go to college to be an actor. And after that, I kind of felt like I was let in on this like dirty little secret where it's like, hey, they're hiring thousands and thousands and thousands of extras a year nationwide.
Yeah.
And you suddenly just get paid to go hang out on set, see what people are doing firsthand, watch some of the biggest names in the industry work, from directors to actors, and you get good food and like get to hang out. And I was like, wait, so like this is how people get in.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny, you talk to some people who are like, I just don't know where I'm going to start. And so it honestly came from this slightly selfish place where I could give back. You know, it was like, oh, I could open the doors for people. And then, you know, we started doing these bigger shows, and you start getting emails from people like, you changed my life. I've always wanted to be an actor. This is the best thing that could have ever happened to me. You know, honestly, it's funny. Literally an hour ago, we got an email from somebody who was his first time on set here in New Mexico, and he's like, I've always wanted to be an actor. I never knew how to get on set, and I just spent 3 days working back to back on a show that you put me on, and this is what I'm doing for the rest of my life. He's like, I'll be an extra, I'll be an actor. He's like, I'm gonna work, put in the effort because this is what I want to be doing. He's like, I don't care if I'm speaking, I don't care if I'm background, I don't care if I'm just a PA, like this is what I want to do. And he's like, I was able to meet the people on set that are allowing me to do that, and that's why I do it. Like I love the ability to give back. And I mean, since COVID started, so in the last 5 years, we've put close to 750,000 people on set.
Wow.
And those are man days, but that's how many like opportunities are out there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know. And so that's why I do it selfishly, is to be able to give that opportunity back to people.
Right. And I don't think that's selfish at all. You know, I mean, it can be personally rewarding, but it's still so deeply meaningful, and it's so clear that's just one example of one of the numerous lives that you have touched, like, forever, you know? So that's such a special opportunity. That kind of leads me to my next question. What is it like connecting with talent, and especially as a casting director and in your position as well? Not only seeing that, you know, like yielding that reward, but what kind of things do you look for? What like perks your ears up when you're connecting with potential talent?
Honestly, for me, it's just it's excitement for what they're doing. And I mean, we don't care if you want to do background for the rest of your life. Honestly, I tell people, kind of like what he was saying, if you want to learn about the industry, that's the best place to go and just kind of observe and figure out exactly what you want to do. Right. So we love finding people who are really passionate for learning or for telling the story, and also just people with a really good work ethic. Like I will hire people who might not necessarily be like perfect for it, but you know what, I know they're going to show up every day, they're going to have a really damn good attitude, and they're going to make us look good because production's going to look at them and be like, man, this person works their ass off. I'm like, yeah, that's what we want, and those are the people who make us look good and make us hireable again, and make you hireable again as a person, is just having a really good attitude and showing up when you're supposed to show up. So thankfully we've been able to create a really, really good database of people that we trust to put on set, who are really excited to be there, who are excited about the stories that are being told, and they're going to go and they're going to have a lot of fun. And make a career out of it at the same time.
Oh yeah, big time. And you know, referencing what you said earlier too, of just like being in that energy, you know, I'm sure that there are plenty of people, hopefully the majority, who are just like happy to be there and just be immersed in like their passion, which is huge. And I think one of the other things that we've been trying to do is, you know, there was this common misconception of people should just be grateful to be on set. Well, no, you should be happy to just be on camera. I'm like, well, yes, they should be happy to be on camera. That is ultimately what people want to do. But people also do this as artists and as a job and as a career. So while we're putting people on set, while they are happy to be there, we also want to make sure that they are being treated well while they are doing it, that they are also like a valued part of it. You know, as an actor, you know, you always start off and you kind of look down at the background people, because you're like, oh well, they didn't train for this. Like, no, of course. I'm sorry, I'm professional. I'm in the union. And I'm like, well, great. So am I. But now I'm at the point where I'm like, man, if I have a day off and I'm not like, I know I'm not going to get cast for this show, like, I'll go and eat some good food and just like hang out and be on camera, because at least you're in there and you're in the energy, and you realize how essential background is to the overall film. Like, I tell people, you know that we've done our job well when you watch something and you can't tell what we did.
it's invisible and it blends so well just kind of into the storyline and into the scene that you don't even notice that it's there. But when it's not there, oh, you notice. You notice. You're like, why the hell is no one in this airport?
Yep.
Where is this airport?
Right.
That's not right. Yeah, so we love being able to create the world and finding people who are just excited about creating the world, because background really are essential to making the world feel lived in.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. No, it's full of life that way.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think honestly, it's funny. One of the best examples was the last season of Westworld, I feel like. I mean, they did it all the seasons, but the last season of Westworld in particular, which was one of the ones that we were working on, there was a lot of effort put into when there was no extras, and it was thought out. It was like you always knew that was a problem. Like something had happened in the mechanics of Westworld.
Right.
When the BG weren't present, and it was kind of how they were able to track down, how the lead was able to pay attention to. Wait, hold on, how come
there's
nobody's
no one here?
Like I've walked through this street, because if anybody knows Westworld, it's all repetitive. But she's like, I've walked through this street 400 times, and there's always this person at the street corner. There's always this person at the cafe.
Yeah.
And then her character walks out, and New York City's empty, or downtown Chicago's empty. And it's actually a really good way to watch something, because you feel it. You almost feel like how awkward.
Yeah.
It's almost like a vacuum.
Yeah,
like when you don't have that atmosphere there, you're like, oh, something's wrong. So 100%. But then it's the things that you don't pay attention to when there are 4,000 people in a stadium and your actor. But that's what we did. That's what we get brought in to do is, we place those 4,000 people, and if it feels like a real concert,
you don't even notice them.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely. And that's such the beautiful thing about film, is it's this kind of liminal space of being as close to reality as possible, where it doesn't kind of feel uncanny, so you can relate to it, so you can connect to it. And BG in your world and what you help facilitate is so critically important. So that's fantastic. I love it. It begs the question though, you're facilitating these spaces for so many other creatives, either rising stars, people who are just getting into the industry, people who've been in it forever. What do you do to satisfy your own creative energy?
Well,
creatives.
This is a really good transition.
That's a good question.
So we both really want to create. We ultimately want to be involved, and we noticed there was this lack in New Mexico of just support for creatives and for actors and producers. And we've been really lucky to work on, I've done over 1,000 episodes of television, in the last 10 years. We've been involved in a lot. We've been able to see kind of where there's these holes that needed filling. And so I will say selfishly, my creative drive came, it was height of COVID, 2020, maybe early 21. And DANI and I were working on a film together, just on the, I was producing, DANI was the costume designer.
Yeah.
And we were just trying to scratch the itch, we just need to be doing something.
Yeah.
Especially because in casting, when COVID was going on, we stopped being invited to the office.
Oh, yeah.
We were never invited to the office. We were always left at home. It's kind of our impact was felt, but it was they never let us out of the closet.
I haven't put on I haven't put on rail pants in weeks, and I'm
I was you're not alone there.
Exactly. So we hadn't seen anybody, and so I got a call from the film office at the time, and they were like, "Hey, so there's this guy in North Carolina who's selling his costume house. Do you know somebody who wants it?" And I remember just having this knee-jerk reaction to, no, nobody's gonna want that. And then I got a hold of the guy. He wanted this exorbitant amount of money, and so I was like, okay, forget it.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Pack it away. And then he called me, and he was like, hey, so something's happened, and I have to get rid of everything. If you can give me $40,000, I will give you my entire costume house. And it's funny because here's the thing, it was so much, and I just had this weird knee-jerk reaction. I was like, sure, let's do it. so I bought a costume house, and then I called her and I was like, "Hey, so how do I run a costume house?" Because I was like, I'm flying to North Carolina. I'm gonna pack a 48-foot trailer, and then I'm coming back
here in a
10
week.
days.
That's insane. What? You're like,
Okay, so I guess we have a costume house now. And the thing about having a costume house, which we then had and tried to like set up in the middle of COVID, which was a terrible plan,
Yeah.
but we're still around. And the thing about clothes is they breed.
They do.
We say they multiply somehow.
Magically.
We close the door.
Oh, yeah, no, you
and
turn
then
the lights off.
You turn the lights off,
What
and
are
they
they
get
doing?
busy doing something.
Yeah.
Because now we have a 20,000 square foot warehouse. We are busting at the seams, and we support. Lately, we've really gotten into supporting all of the indies, the people who don't have a ton of money, and we love to open our doors to these customers and say, just whatever you need to make your show a success. Come and grab whatever you need.
Come be creative, have fun.
yeah.
Yeah. So we honestly, like, we left a costumer there, actually.
We do, yeah. There's somebody there right
Someone
now.
there right now.
doing her show.
We're like, just lock up when you leave. Yeah. We'll be back later.
Yeah, like turn the lights off.
I mean, that's pretty much it.
And if you get eaten by the racks, let us know.
Yeah, well, listen, I'll call for help.
Watch out.
Yeah, there's an Alexa. She'll call 911.
Yeah, she's always listening. You're good.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Scream a little bit.
Yes. So now, and it's honestly, it's not far from here. We have, this giant costume house where, so we'll run all the casting out of there. We run the costume houses, and
Yeah.
I mean, and it just keeps sort of evolving. We do in-house embroidery now.
Yeah.
And
We do production services kind of
Production
across the board.
services,
So
yeah.
what we did is we kind of took everything that we were doing and said, we're already doing 50% of it. Let's just do the rest.
Yeah.
So now we offer production services. So we do have projects that'll come to us, and we'll set them up with cachet. So we'll run pass-through services. We'll do insurance, casting top to bottom. So we'll do your principals and background.
we'll crew you up. We'll help
crew,
locations,
budgeting, incentives.
Wow.
So we kind of do
all that stuff. Yeah.
everything now.
Yeah, all of the stuff.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's kind of started because we would, people who come into town who are new to New Mexico, who are coming from LA or some of the bigger markets, you really need someone who's on the ground, who knows the state and knows the area, knows the people, to be able to say, hey, these are things that you're doing wrong, this is where you should go, talk to these people. And we realized that we were getting calls from a lot of people who were like, everything fell apart, can you please help us find this thing? And we're like, how about we just get in at the beginning and we help you set this up, help set you up for success.
Yep.
And do it that way. So production services is one of our newer things, but we're really excited about it. Kind of move more into the production area because we've worked with producers in production for years anyway. So we figured let's take all the knowledge that we have and help people make their movies and make it a success.
Perfect. Democratize that knowledge. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's a great question then for prospective performers or people who are looking to get something produced or any of the number of things that you just mentioned. What's the best way to get in contact with you or get involved?
Yeah. Because we have so many companies, there's also so many emails.
We have so many email addresses.
So many emails.
We'll drop them in the chat.
The whole stroll is just going to be emails.
They're going to go over the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all our first name with a weird ending.
Yeah, if you're looking for the casting side, if folks want to get it more onto the acting side, the best way is to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Post everything there. You can actually register for free in our database.
Which was new, right? It was just
we just moved over to a brand new system, which is really exciting because it's actually allowing us to do a lot more altogether, and it's allowing us to now offer payroll. So as of this month, we are now directly competing against Central Casting out of Los Angeles because we are offering payroll, digital vouchers, and the casting all together. One, to help streamline it for our producers, but also to streamline it for the talent too, because now we can actually directly get them involved and be more hands-on from start to finish.
Yeah.
So, the database is crucial on the casting side. For monumental costumes, you can email costumes@monumentalstudios.com, and we can get you guys set up if you're looking for costume rentals. On the production services side, what emails do you think are best?
What do you think? Honestly, for the production services side, we're thankfully, because it is the two of us and we operate out of the same office, you can get a hold of us via costumes@monumentalstudios.com. That's a great email that goes to both of us. we love having interns come in. They work at the costume house. We have a tendency to lose interns because they come and they intern with us, start working with some of the other costumers, and then anytime we get a call for a PA, we recommend those people, and then they always just get themselves full-time jobs.
Yeah, we like to place,
which is really annoying because then I need another intern.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh man.
I'm like, oh man, here it goes again. Yeah, successful again.
Yeah, oh shoot.
Oh shoot. So yeah, so costumes at monumentalstudios.com. That's the best email address for us. And then everyone just absolutely register on the database to get yourselves on set. It's always the best place to start.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know where you're going to go, just go and observe and see where you want to go.
All right, you heard it, guys. Okay, well then, closing remarks. Time went by so fast. Right? What would be your like final piece of advice that you would give to like rising creatives from your positions? What do you think?
Shoot, I would say this sounds so cheesy, but just show up. Like, don't let the industry beat you down. There's a lot, but if this is what you're passionate about, this is what you want to do, show up every day, be involved every day, go do extra work because you can get on set every day if you wanted, but just be involved and be around the people that are also creating. Create your own little creative group.
Yeah. Immerse yourself.
So do that while also be patient. Everyone expects a quick fix. They want their movie to be made right now. But be involved in things, and that will help you get your thing. But be patient. Don't get disheartened. And find your joy in other things as well. It's the people who put all of their eggs in this basket that usually end up being the ones who burn out really quickly.
Right.
So find your joy outside of it. I started horseback riding. He hates it, but that's fine. I don't care. Yeah.
It's another excuse for her to be late. It's fine.
But you're diversifying.
He says, thank you.
Diversifying with my time, too.
I am diversifying. Thank you. But like be creative in so many different ways because it not only makes you a more well-rounded person, it makes you a more well-rounded artist.
Absolutely. That's huge. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Of course, totally. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another fantastic episode of the Creatives Podcast. Thank you again so much to Studio 519 for such a wonderful recording space, to all of our sponsors for making this possible, to RM Entertainment, Channel 27, all of the above. Thank you so much for making this possible. And to everybody who is liking, commenting, and subscribing, hopefully, on our YouTube channel. Please continue to share with your friends, family, and loved ones, and we hope to see you again next time. Thank you, guys.